India will build the ships and give them to the Philippines. This was announced by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of India, Subramaniam Jaishankar, at his meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Philippines, Enrique Manalo, in New Delhi on December 20, 2023. The ship is a Class 29 patrol boat made in India. This ship is 95 meters long, 11 meters wide and has a maximum speed of 25 knots. The ship is equipped with a variety of weapons and sensors, including a 76mm cannon, anti-ship missiles and sonar. The gift of this ship is part of India's efforts to increase defense cooperation with the Philippines. The two countries have increasingly close relations, especially in facing the challenges posed by China in the South China Sea. This Class 29 patrol ship will be the first patrol ship owned by the Philippines. This ship will be used to increase the Philippines' maritime patrol and defense capabilities in the South China Sea. Here is some more information about the Class 29 patrol boats. This ship was built by Goa Shipyard Limited, a shipyard owned by the Indian government. This ship has a crew capacity of 60 people. This ship has a sailing endurance of 1,500 nautical miles. The gift of this Class 29 patrol boat is a symbol of India's commitment to strengthening defense cooperation with the Philippines. This also shows India's concern about China's expansion in the South China Sea. The Vikrant class was built by Cochin Shipyard Limited for the Indian Navy and was the first aircraft carrier built by India. The 40,000-ton INS Vikrant aircraft carrier underwent intensive trials until 2016 before being officially inducted into the Indian Navy fleet in 2018. When INS Vikrant becomes fully operational in 2018, India will become the fifth country to have designed and built its own aircraft carrier. Joining elite clubs include England, France, Russia and the United States. INS Vikrant will be 290 meters long and 60 meters wide. The shipbuilding process, from design to final completion, is carried out domestically using high-quality iron produced by state-owned companies. Monday's launch marked the completion of the first phase of construction of INS Vikrant. This ship will return to the shipyard for completion. INS Vikrant is capable of carrying around 30 fighter aircraft, is equipped with 2 ski jump configuration STOBAR, short takeoff but arrested recovery, takeoff runways, as well as 1 landing facility, landing strip, with 3 aircraft restraint cables. The ship's deck is designed to accommodate most, 20 units, MiG-29K or HAL Tejas Mark II, naval variant, as well as 10 Kamov Ka-31 or Westland Sea King helicopters. The Ka-31 helicopter will carry airborne early warning, AEW, equipment and the Sea King will provide anti-submarine warfare, ASW, capabilities. INS CADMAT's visit was part of the long-range operations deployment for joint training by personnel from both countries. The exercise involved professional interactions, exchange of experts in the field, and cross-deck visits aimed at enhancing cooperation and exchanging best practices, the report said. The Indian ambassador to the Philippines, Shambhu Kumaran, said that the Indian and Philippine Navy's Maritime Partnership Exercises, MPX, would be held in the West Philippine Sea or South China Sea. He said the exercise was carried out to maintain stability and peace in the Indo-Pacific region. The Philippines is located in the center of the Indo-Pacific and we are very close partners, fellow democracies. We have a common interest in peace and stability in this region, he said. The ambassador also supported the Philippines' efforts to promote compliance with the rules-based order and respect for international law amidst recent developments in the South China Sea. Today, India is proud of its first indigenously produced medium aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant. Although impressive, this aircraft has concerns regarding operational limitations for conducting defensive and offensive air operations due to short takeoff but pressed recovery, STOBAR, operations which limit range and payload as well as the number and type of aircraft carried. The ship is also vulnerable to drone swarms considering the ship's small deck can carry a powerful defensive weapons system. In other words, peacetime operations will be very different from wartime operations. A detailed look at the Indian Navy's submarine capabilities shows that growth is imperfect. There are only 16 active submarines, about a quarter of them foreign-made and most of them now commissioned for 30 years. This is different from the planned submarines, which total 56 ships with more diverse classifications. Observers are looking forward to Project P-75I to increase the number and power of diesel attack submarines. However, the project is still very slow, which explains why the Indian Navy is forced to carry out repairs on several existing ships while the P-75I is still not on the bid list. In this regard, the Philippine Navy must realize that it cannot rely on symbolic acquisitions. Winning the respect of neighboring countries cannot be demonstrated simply by procuring naval platforms. This should emphasize capabilities, an ecosystem of completing tasks at a desired level of performance using a particular platform. Therefore, submarine acquisition should be used to prevent and fight war, not for sex appeal, as strategist Edward Luttwak put it. In order for the Philippine Navy's submarine force to be able to complete the task, it is necessary to procure more than 6 submarines. As the Indian Navy became aware of the operational and political realities in the Indian and Pacific Oceans, it used naval diplomacy to fill the gap. For example, the Indian Navy is pushing boundaries to deepen ties with its ASEAN counterparts, particularly the ASEAN-India Maritime Exercise, AMI, held this year and co-hosted by Singapore. They are also looking at their Quad partners to conduct military exercises such as Malabar. Most importantly, they use naval diplomacy as a signal to work with regional naval partners to secure political leadership for rules-based security. The Philippine case is the opposite. The country relies on naval diplomacy to build its network, which serves as a force multiplier to enforce the 2016 Arbitral Award. It also leverages naval ties for capability development. So far, the diplomatic message has been that Manila seeks to contribute to a rules-based order, and hence naval modernization. Not only does this risk relying too heavily on the goodwill of others, but it also creates confusing expectations for partners. The lesson to be learned from the Indian Navy is that naval diplomacy requires a special signal, that someone recognizes limitations but is astute enough to know what one is capable of and will use it for a clear purpose while others can fill the gap.